think Subhash Chandra Bose's story is one very important part of our freedom struggle, and his story has been ignored. When we look at our history and the history of India's freedom struggle, it is a lesser documented story in our history books. So I think that way it was important. Also, his disappearance has always been, after 1945, has always been a mystery. But that mystery has been, India has been fascinated with that mystery for forever. But not much is known about it, not much has been discussed. There is just very wild speculations. So this is a story based on very strong research, very well developed research, and which I think is an important story. Today, if we enjoy freedom, we don't really know exactly why, how we've got this freedom. Somewhere, when we talk of freedom, we talk about Mahatma Gandhi, Nehru. But freedom fighters like Subhash Chandra Bose are relegated to single pages. So this subject is Ekta's brainchild. She was obsessed with this idea. So this was perhaps her first commissioned show on when she decided to launch the ALTBalaji app, and she roped in a team of researchers, a team of developers who worked for nearly a year just researching, and then they spent nearly a year writing the screenplay. So it was very extensive. A lot of it was based on, there's a book called India's Biggest Cover-Up by Hansal Mehta. So a lot of primary research came from there.
It's always the content. The medium actually doesn't matter. For me, the story was quite fascinating, and of course, Bose about to get a chance to play Netaji on screen. I was sure it would be a thrilling experience for me as an actor. So for me, just to get a chance to play Netaji, and the content, the way I read the script, it was quite well researched, and it was quite detailed. Things that we haven't really heard about his life, like from his life, chapters that we have no idea about from his life. So that really was my motivation to say yes to it. Well, there are a lot of course mystery, and there are a lot of speculations and conspiracy theories. So we are definitely going further, like post 1945 as well, and we are definitely touching upon those different theories. But of course, we're not going to give you any definite answer because of course nobody knows. It's still a mystery. But we will touch upon those areas, and then we'll leave up to you which exactly theory we want to believe in. There was a lot of reading involved. There are a lot of books that I had to go through, including his unfinished autobiography. I read, that was always there with me. And then I spent a lot of time at his place in Kolkata, Netaji Bhavan. I used to go there and just visit and be there for hours. Then watching a lot of documentaries, watching a lot of video footage that's already available on the internet, just to get the idea of his body language, his physical structure, how he used to walk and all. And then there's so many of his radio speeches that are there, just to get the voice right. Definitely the kind of response we have got from a tailor, we are very hopeful that they will be receptive. And especially it's a digital medium, it's very accessible, it's easily available, you can watch it as per your convenience. So we are quite hopeful because, and anyways, I'm a big fan of a lot of web series, a lot of shows on Netflix and Amazon. And I know there's a big chunk of audience that's watching these series on a regular basis. So we are sure that we have, of course, made something which is quite big, quite grand, which is quite international standard-wise. So I think we are hopeful that people will, of course, welcome our first initiative, and that's fine. I think that there are no complaints. Everybody each to their own, and they can decide whatever they want to watch as per their convenience. We can't really say that stop watching films and only watch digital or vice versa. I think it's almost 125-130 crore of population. So I think we still have very few number of percentage people who go and actually go to theatre and watch films. But digital, of course, everybody has an access to mobile phone these days. Of course, that can be really wide and really large in number that happens. But I'm sure, cinema will always be there. Cinema is not going anywhere. But of course, there will be a parallel industry running in this form. More than perception, the unfortunate part is that we didn't know much about his life. Even in our history book, there was a very small chapter dedicated to his to Netaji. So during my research, I got to know him much more in detail. I got to know his ideologies, his childhood, how was like his relationship with his family, his ideologies. So that those are the things that I was not aware of, which I got to know through my research.
It's been wonderful. I mean, I've known her for a long time. We have always spoken about working together, and this was a great opportunity to work together. And then Rajkummar began his career with like, LSD and then Ragini Elements. It was very nice. It was a intense collaboration. Very nice, very intense. They gave me material on a platter actually. The material was written and very well written.
I don't know. I think we're very impulsive that way. There are a couple of course, there's stories that we want to tell, and we want to tell them in a certain way, and we both have the same taste of interest in those stories. So that's where we connect. We try and find some realism in our stories, and we want to make our characters human, so that people like our audience and us, we can definitely connect to those characters and probably take them back home.
We look for also challenges. That every time we work together, what is the new challenge? How does the story challenge us? How do we approach it in a new way? So we are constantly looking for that, to challenge each other, to challenge ourselves with the choice of subject. So that process is ongoing with us, and we have it's resulted in every film has been a new exploration.
Mostly real locations. We shot in almost 5 cities in three different countries. Mostly real locations. Rarely, probably, really constructed any set for the series, and it adds on to it. I think any real location, the scale that you're seeing now, the grandness of the series, it comes when you shoot actually in real locations.
Yeah, so it's also credit we must give that credit to the director of the show, Pulkit, who has really toiled to give the show its authenticity, to give the show that look, feel, that the scale that you see. He's really toiled to do that. And that is truly a new director who has shown so much of promise with this show.
But these two wonderful casting directors,
We had Trishan and Shubham, two casting directors who really, I mean, there are 180 characters in total. So, each of them had to be cast, also in different places. So if you're shooting in Kolkata, a lot of actors were cast from Kolkata. Then we shot in Poland, so actors were cast from Poland, Thailand, Ladakh. Actors were flown in from Delhi. So a lot of they also had to carry out the research. References were given to them by the direction team on how the characters should look, and that they should also be good actors. It's not only about the way they look; they should also be good actors. So we look at Gandhiji, the person who was playing Gandhiji. He came from somewhere far away in
mountains,
from the mountains, just to play this. The person who's playing there, there's a lot of authenticity in the casting. Period piece, that is the challenge, to get people who look authentic, who look the part, and they should be good performers. I was looking for an opportunity to be part of this whole digital series revolution, because digital is going to be a very strong medium for us to tell stories. Over the years, it has emerged as the strongest platform for storytellers, for filmmakers, for actors. The crafting, the writing on digital has been superior to films, and it's now coming into India. So I wanted to begin that journey with something that we could say was a benchmark. It set a benchmark. That's something that people would look up to and say, okay, that the migration was worth it. The migration to the digital platform was worth it, and in the future, I mean, I see myself being a part of this more and more. Because there's a lot of freedom. You are not succumbing to the weekend. You are not a victim of the weekend game when you're on the digital platform. The films are not dependent on a Friday. Your series is not dependent on Friday. It is there forever. It's there for posterity. People can watch it at their own convenience. So, as a storyteller, it gives you a lot of power.
It's called Omerta. Omerta is done. That's ready. So we'll be planning to release it probably early next year sometime.
Premiered at the Toronto Film Festival. Then it went to Busan, showed at Nami. We had a wonderful. This has been reviewed by the top magazines, top reviewers, and we're looking forward to its release next year.